set in the Chronicles of Darkness, Vampire, the Requiem, London. Tonight we revisit the perilous and exciting unlife of the long-absent Cora as a roller. After 10 long years of towing the line for her sire and her bloodline, Bloody Invictus and its rulers. Cora has found herself in a very interesting yet predictably perilous position for herself. Trapped between her sire and her new bedfellows, in some cases literal. He stands at something of a precipice in her own life. Fortunately, there's enough problems she has to deal with tonight. Tonight is, well, you could say the closest thing she might have to a night off.
Oh, nice.
With her new companion in Ash. A minor power player in Invictus. Well, he doesn't really define himself by his standing within the sect itself. You've toured the local nightlife with him while you both look out to, or you both seek to hunt tonight. And find that, as Deva, it is remarkably easy. And it is very, very simple for you to find someone, a club goer, and bring them into your waiting arms. Was in Ashes, at least.
I just love making friends. New friends.
In fact, Ash makes the rather bold decision, at least for a kindred, of inviting this mortal back to one of their many havens. Which is actually where we begin this scene of you feeding on this mortal with Ash. A young woman called Emmy, quite easy on the eyes, short brown hair, dresses relatively loosely. She was out to party. Nash is dragged out. Certainly a party. Ash is dragged out the feeding. He's suddenly been tempting his beast somewhat. Nipping at Emmy, taking just droplets of blood at a time, urging you to do the same. Normally, even you wouldn't do something this reckless. Deva are prone to reckless action, but you feel a bit more secure in yourself tonight.
I'll go along with it then.
It is. In terms of feeding, it perhaps might just be the best way to feed. It's like extending the kiss out over the course of an hour.
So everyone has a good time. There's no problem, right?
No, not that you can see. Emmy, for her part, is, well, she would be covered in bites if they weren't so easily mended by the kindred condition. And she's so utterly enthralled, you're not really sure if she understands where she is. It's almost like watching somebody dominated or overcome with majesty.
Weird.
You think in her current state you'd get her to do almost anything.
I mean, that could be fun too. So many possibilities.
Ash ends up wrapping his arms around her waist and almost has her lean forward towards you, neck open. As if to close curtains.
Sounds good.
You would gain 2 blood points if you weren't already full.
Nope, at this point, just having fun.
Ash will set Emmy down on the bed next to him. She's only half awake at this point. You've taken some V-Day from her and she has been riding hard on a kiss for the better part of an hour. Ash will wrap his arms around you and will ask, did you have fun?
I did. Definitely a new experience. Not a bad one.
We should do this more often, I think.
Sounds like a plan to me. Kind of grins.
He'll give you a kiss.
And she'll return it. Because yay kisses.
He lays down on the bed with you and asks, so how have your nights been? We haven't talked in a little while.
Let's see. She'll get comfy. Busy? Feel like I've been running all over the place. Some of it feels like busy work. I can't even tell you what exactly they had me doing. Worst are the errands for my sire. But at least I'm let out of the house. at this point.
Still on the short leash after all this time.
Not as short as it used to be.
You ever thought about cutting ties?
I've thought about it. I just can't seem to. I don't know. It's a weird situation. Because I'm still two-step to her, right?
Yeah, you're two sets bound to her. Of course, the bond is weaker than normal, given that it is a Callisti blood tie. It's not
Yeah.
as overbearing. It's more easily fought. Doesn't mean it isn't there, though, unfortunately. She's still present in your mind. Often causes you to think, what would my sire think of this? Would she be disappointed in me? Would she approve? You know it clouds your better judgment a lot of the time, but it doesn't stop it from happening. In some ways, it's more frustrating than a full bond in that way.
Sounds it. And last time I tried to cut ties, it didn't work out so well. But that's when I tried to join the Carthian movement when I was younger.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think the Carthrians would have been able to help you with that problem.
Probably, well, clearly they couldn't handle it based off how things ended.
I find the movement is very good at dishing it out, not very good at taking it. Although I don't have the obsession of them that a lot of our kind do.
Yeah, I have noticed that, especially in the city.
Hmm. Many of them are of our blood. I'm surprised we can't look past our differences.
It is a little strange. I mean, they just think differently. I don't think it's that intimidating.
Hmm. I don't think it is either, really. They are just what they are. And if they're capable of being more than us, well, they would be in charge. And well, the
They
past
failed at
10
that
years have
too.
taught. If the past 10 years have taught me anything, it's that they're certainly not ready for that just yet, I think.
Not at all. Which is why we're in charge still.
Hmm. But you were just telling me about how you didn't feel in charge.
Well, I don't, but the Invictus are. It's a weird dichotomy. I
Sounds like
mean,
an
at least
unnecessary one, if you ask me.
maybe, but it's that wall I keep running up against. Where do I go if I'm not with my sire?
Maybe you just need somebody to give you a little push.
That'd be the day.
His fangs extend slightly. Um, they sink into your neck for a moment. pushing the kiss on you.
I'm not gonna complain. It feels good.
He releases it from you in a few seconds. You know, there are others out there.
True. Well, there's you. And I keep hearing about others, but I don't think I've even met everyone in the Invictus even yet. Let
You'll
alone
never
the
meet
crone or
everyone.
anything.
Oh, sorry.
Let alone the crone or anything. Then again, I met Morgan and the crone, and I think I'm good.
Morgan isn't the whole of the crown.
No, I met another younger member that was, you know, really pleasant.
It's good. I find the more earnest ones to be worth dealing with. There are kindred like Morgan who play at command, act like a queen, but forgetting that they're not God.
She definitely wants people to think that she's God. Remember her pushing that agenda.
Sadly for her, not quite true.
Sadly, no, actually, I'm pretty okay. I'm pretty okay with that being not true in this case. Ugh. I did not enjoy my time getting to know her.
There is one I think you might like to meet.
Who's that?
She has a lot of names and several titles. She's someone better experienced than discussed.
Okay, I'm always willing to meet new people.
Are you sure? It's something that carries a bit of weight. If you understand what I'm saying.
I think so. I mean, as long as you think I'm not gonna, like, trip over my words or something.
They're not Morgan, they don't take offense that easily.
Oh, good.
Lucky for you.
I still get very nervous when meeting people. Not gonna lie.
And yet you're so eloquent with me, I find.
Well, I don't feel the same pressure around you. I'm comfortable.
I'm not sure whether I should be flattered or insulted. He sort of just smirks at you.
Uh, hopefully flattered. And I did mean it as a compliment.
I'll also put your two companions down in what you see, because I forgot to do that. There you go, so there's their face claims.
Yay. Very pretty.
Surrounded by very pretty people.
Feels so special.
But Ash will just say, well, I guess I can't help but take it as a compliment then.
Hello.
We're in the middle of
Hello.
the scene, dude.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were done.
No,
Okay.
please go.
Oh, sorry.
There it is. Gotta find a way to make this channel private.
Just pull people in there.
There we go, I've done it now.
Excellent.
Why did I not do this a year and a half ago? Old problem fixed. But Ash will sort of place his hand against your cheek. Move his thumb against your lips.
She'll just kind of like lean into the touch kind of thing. Resist the urge to go chomp. Nicely.
Like they're so comfortable then. Prove it. He just awaits a response. Sort of giving a
Oh, okay.
smile that is one third
yeah,
daring, one third hopeful, one third suspect.
that's a whole lot of emotions. Yeah, I'd like to meet your friend. I think that's what the last thing we were talking about was, right? Got thrown off a little bit.
It's a brief pause.
Sounds good.
Sure. We could meet her. There's a sort of the smile on his face is flattened slightly, as if he is considering something.
What's on your mind?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. See that, he'll begin to get up. Emmy will begin to, stir. She actually turns to face the both of you. And she just says, what are you talking about? And why are you biting each other?
Cora's just like, haven't you ever heard of a kink? Jeez.
Caffeine's a kink? What's that? Ash just sort of puts a finger over his mouth as he looks at you, but smiles as if indicating for you to find a way to either silence her or distract her. Though it seems very light-hearted.
Let's see. Could use Majesty.
Could just bite her again.
I could just bite her again. Yeah, that I'll go for that.
When you lean in towards her, she naturally wraps her arms around you, almost instinctively, as you kiss her neck and then sink your fangs into it. If she was thinking anything else, she certainly isn't now. All of
Oh,
her
good.
prior questions and concerns just seem to melt away.
There.
When you release her, she reciprocates by kissing your neck in turn. Her hands just sort of caressing your body. It doesn't really seem like thought was put into it.
Yeah.
But after biting her a few more times, she falls back into that state of reverie. As you go to get out of the bed, you see her actually reach out to you. She sort of grabs at your arm, holds onto it. Rests her head against it and kisses it.
Just like, we should play again some other time.
Anytime, I'll be there whenever you want. Can you stay for a little bit longer?
I'll just kind of like glance at Ash and be like, do we have the time?
Ash will look at you and I will say, I think it's time we stop playing with our food.
So I'm just like, I'm sorry, I have to go. But next time.
She'll look at you with a degree of longing you've become very used to as a Deva. And she will just lower her head and release your arm.
Oh, good.
She'll rest her head back on the bed. And Ash will begin to get changed. Gets into something rather casual. The only thing he spends a particular amount of time on is his hair. I assume Cora gets changed. It would be pretty awkward if she didn't.
I mean, yeah, probably. Probably just mirror the, you know, attitude that Ash seems to be taking for it. So, like, no longer in club gear.
Yeah, it's casual wear. Wherever he's going, wherever he's taking you. Clothing doesn't seem to be the most important thing for the occasion. I've given their servants a call. She has expressed an interest in meeting with you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd be glad to. trying not to fidget at this point.
Ash seems to notice, but he doesn't comment on it.
How kind.
He will wrap an arm around you, taking you down many stories from his haven. A lovely little high-rise, embedded in the city of London. As you're heading down the left, he'll say, when we meet, make sure to show proper respect.
Okay. I can do that, I think.
If you follow my lead, you should be fine.
I'll keep my fingers crossed and follow your lead. Cora's making finger guns in her heart.
She is more charitable than those gods. Better her than Morgan, at least.
I will take most people over Morgan when it comes to deities.
Then you should get along like fireworks.
Oh, good.
I know we already are.
That's super true.
Lift doors will open. The bell dinging. And you'll walk out to Ash's lovely looking Mercedes. As you'll drive down to Hackney. Sorry, did I interrupt?
No. I was just listening.
Okay. Ash will just say, we'll be heading to Hackney. Not in Victor's territory, so do be careful and mind your manners. There shouldn't be a problem if you're with me.
Got it.
So you'll drive off. The drive to Hackney is not particularly long. You're already quite close to it, being in the city of London. And the roads are a little bit less busy at night. And particularly now, in these nights, very recently, there are less cars on the street, but there is certainly a lot more local law enforcement, you notice.
That can't be a good sign.
You notice a number of police vehicles, police cars roaming the streets, but what does surprise you are the number of police vans you witness. Not just regular police vans with green and blue checkered strip painted on them. He also noticed black riot vans. They stick out.
Why are there so many riots?
Didn't you hear there was a terrorist attack barely a month ago? That's what the news is saying.
Have been really under a rock lately. Haven't had time to watch the news, I guess.
That's not quite true. You've been living under me, but
definitely more comfortable than living under a rock.
true.
But also doesn't give me time to watch the news.
Also true. Jokes aside, I'm nervous. The line being given to the press is that it was a suspected terrorist attack.
You think it's something else?
My friends in the media have been doing some digging. They haven't been able to get into contact with any of the officers involved in the shootout. Which means they either don't want to be found or they don't exist.
Well, that's disconcerting.
And CTC has apparently been inserting itself into drug busts and other raids. Apparently it hit some of the Carthians pretty hard. I think if you even wound up in the morgue, you didn't even know what happened to them. Probably dusted for the for the safety of the masquerade, but it's concerning to me that it reached that point at all.
Normally things get covered up a little bit, well, a little bit cleaner.
That gives me pause. Because we are cleaner than that. Half the time when the sheriffs are busy trying to get their fangs stuck into the police department, the Archons are calling me to run a false story for the media to sink its fangs into.
Well, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know.
I'll let you know. I know you've been wanting to get your own fangs sunken into things.
Just a bit. Like I said, I've been kind of bored with the errands I've been running.
Your sire hasn't been giving you many opportunities, has she?
Not really.
And I'm assuming that she's also been calling it your fault.
Not in so many words, but I do get that distinct impression.
Maybe there's an opportunity for you here then.
I'd be excited to see if there is.
Excited is one way to put it.
What's the other way you'd put it?
Frightening.
Bit of both, maybe.
You're smarter than half the kindred in this city, then.
Huh. I'll take that as a compliment. Or at least try not to think of what that means for the city.
Better take it as a compliment. And as he says that, you begin to round into a car park. Seems to be the place you're in is the Hackney Roman Baths, which is a basically part spa, part museum almost. Basically a spa that was deliberately designed in the sort of Greco-Roman style, but has collected a rather vast number of artworks and relics from the actual time period. It's become quite locally famous for its authenticity and commitment to the bit, so to speak.
Fancy.
It is also quite expensive. So yes, it is indeed very fancy. It's currently closed. As you approach, you see that it is very much the Corinthian structure it's reputed for being. It's a few stories high, it's not too large. There are apartment buildings and skyscrapers that tower above it, but it sticks out from the local architecture. If only because it seems to have a bit more soul in it than half of the giant glass towers in the immediate vicinity. As you approach the door, you'll see that to the side. Ash will ring a bell, will state his name. And a woman of like in her mid to late 30s will approach the door and open it for you both.
Oh, good.
You can actually roll me wits streetwise or wits politics if you like.
Oh. One success.
One success, okay. So you recognize the woman. She's not particularly well known in the domain, but you've heard of her. Melina Carlier. She's a curious thing because she's not known to be a kindred, and gazing upon her, your beast immediately senses this. There's no beast to sense of within her. She breathes and her heart beats like a regular mortal's. Her skin is flush with life and she moves with the grace and fluidity of a living being, unlike the static beings that you are. But
That's
she will.
interesting.
And she's known to have run this place for quite a long time. Many kindred suspect she's somebody's ghoul, but nobody's actually figured out the truth.
Now I want to know the truth.
As the door
Okay,
opens.
one day.
The automatic doors will open at the behest of your host. She will.
Thank you.
She'll bow to you. Good evening to you both. Are you, she looks at you, are you the one?
Glance at Ash. Am I the one? Question mark. Look, kind of look.
Ash will look straight back at Melina and will say, yes, she is. She is the one to meet the lady of the temple. I'm surprised she took the request. I don't claim to understand her motivations, but I do respect and appreciate them. We are both very grateful. Very well then. She will be where you would expect her to be. Oh, I can take you there right now if you like. Please do. And what Melina will do, she'll have the automatic doors close and lock behind you. And she'll walk you through the bathhouse. But she very quickly diverts off the main set of from the foyer, from the main set of corridors, down to a restricted access door. That goes down about a story. It winds a little bit. You think it's taking you to the far end of the building. And when you reach the end, you'll see two large stone doors. And Melina will say, I will announce your presence to her and you'll then be invited in.
Thank
Please
you
wait
again.
here just a moment. Actually, make me a quick wit sympathy check if you like, considering you're quite curious about Melina.
Sure. Zero successes.
Okay. It's not fair, it's quite subtle. Oh, sorry, it's... She just walks on and she seems quite blasé towards you both. Not quite so blasé as to be rude. She's polite, but she's to the point. She seems
Gotcha.
a little bit defensive. Guarded would perhaps be a good word. And once she heads in, she actually pushes the quite heavy-looking doors open with a great deal of ease. And after about 20 seconds, she'll re-emerge. And she'll halfway through the door, she'll simply say to you, you may enter now.
Thank you. And Cora will enter, like, with Ash. If he's coming.
He will walk in with you. He is segregated himself from you slightly, somewhat more formal than how he was with you before you drove off to the bathhouse.
Legit.
What you see when you enter can really only be described as an actual temple complex. It's like a big hall with large Corinthian pillars, evenly spaced. Smooth stone flooring with mathematically perfect tiling. Along the ceiling and the walls are rather grand mosaics. The ceiling depicting a number of 3 individuals specifically. You can actually roll me your intelligence plus academics if you like.
Two successes.
Okay. You recall this from secondary school, actually, all the way back from your youth. Remember doing a few classes on the Roman era, and a similar symbology showed up. The 3 figures in the mosaic, and the ceiling resemble the Capitoline triad. A group of 3 deities. One is Jupiter, the man in the middle. The other is Juno, who stands directly beside him. And below them both is Minerva.
Interesting. Cora is probably more knowledgeable about the Greek counterparts, but they're pretty much the same.
Yes, in terms of, there are subtle differences, but they have broad similarities. The Capitoline Triad, however, was explicitly Roman, you do recall.
Interesting.
Of course, all three deities in Greek mythology played significant roles, but they weren't grouped up as a triad in such a way. They were viewed as their own separate entities. At the far end of the room, at the far end of the temple, there is an altar. Carved into the wall are three deities. A large stone slab that acts as an altar, candle lit. Flowers blossoming all around it. Standing just before it, in the dimly lit temple, is this woman. As in what you see.
Pretty.
She is stunningly beautiful. She is the standard bearer for stereotypical beauty. She has long curly red hair with sharp green eyes, a soft face, very thin line of freckles that accentuate her other features. Wearing modest red robes. You think are silk. On her wrists you see braces. You're not entirely sure what metal. But dangling off them are a number of bracelets and other bits and pieces of jewelry. She also wears a single simple wooden ring on her right index finger.
Cora will curtsy deeply.
Oh yeah, Ash immediately kneels.
Oh, then kneel as well. Kneeling good.
She'll approach. Can you roll me a wits plus composure check for me, please?
Oh, the things I'm not good at?
Yeah, that thing you're not good
Sweet.
at. Can't be good at everything.
Nope. 0 successes. Embarrassing.
That is actually going to be quite interesting. Hold on a second.
Oh god.
Yeah, I had you roll the wrong thing, but it's fine because the dice pool for this, the dice pool I made you roll was actually higher.
Oh boy.
So it's not great. Okay. Then, what happens is that you're just immediately drawn to her. Her aura of magnetism is just undeniable. Ash has closed his eyes and looked down, but you just can't help but sort of stare, wide-eyed, like a deer in headlights.
Oh, this is what a deity's like. Oh, okay.
Melina, your host, has remained at the back of the room. Well, they're not really focusing on her right now.
No. Not at all.
The Ash will, no, you won't. You can't do that. What happens is that the woman in red approaches you. Or standing before you both. She'll say to Ash, "You have brought me another guest, Ash. Why?" There is a moment where you can almost hear an intake of breath from Ash. My apologies if I have offended you, but normally I would approach the Regina Sacchorum, but I believe Cora could benefit from your direct guidance. She is chafed in a way that neither I nor Regina may be able to truly help her with. She will gesture to Melina and Ash and will say, "Leave us." Ash will immediately get up. He'll give you a look. One of mixed confidence. Slight concern. Melina simply leaves. She turns on her heel and walks out.
I'm just like, there's a pretty lady. Like, that's all I got.
Pretty much. The woman will lower herself to eye level with you. She stares at you for a good few seconds before saying anything. He is right. He knows you well, it seems. You have been broken on many chains, haven't you? Oh.
Sorry.
Rattling chains. Yeah, she sort of studies you and waits for a response.
That is certainly very true, and something that does cause me quite a bit of consternation.
She pauses again for another few seconds, as if simultaneously soaking in and weighing your words. You seem as though you are drowning.
That's kind of how it does feel a lot of the time.
When you fled to the movement, were you frustrated or desperate?
Both. Thought I could find a place that I belonged, but it wasn't to be.
Movements are seldom family.
So I've seen by observing them in the city. They seem very fractured.
Would you seek to find yourself a family?
I wouldn't mind finding one, as long as it's not as stifling as the one that my sire tries to create.
How would you seek to find a new one?
That's the part I haven't figured out just yet. I mean, there's some people I'm starting to meet that I've grown close to, such as Ash, but I don't really know how to break free from the chains I have currently. And until then, I don't think I can find a family.
Then your chains must be broken.
Broken, I don't dealt with it some manner. I'd imagine. It's the problem I keep running into, I think.
She will... She will rise. And she will head back towards the altar. And then she will sort of... She will gesture for you to sort of come forward.
Cora will follow that instruction. Just shuffle forward a bit.
When you make your way to the altar, when you have gotten there, she will, from her robe, pull a ceremonial-looking knife. It looks worn and rather blunted. And she will say, "Pray."
She says pray?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Cora will do so. Quietly.
Given that she's handed you a knife, I'll give you this for free. She expects you to do something with that knife.
Should I cut myself with it? Huh?
You might want to cut yourself with it.
Alright, so we'll do that then.
She will also hold out her hands as if for you to cut them as well.
Probably hesitate for a second, but then like do the same.
How many blood points do you spill over the altar?
Like 2, 3?
Okay.
praying here. It's not a small thing.
Borrow me your manipulation protocol.
Okay. Four successes.
Okay. As you begin to pray, who do you pray to?
Probably given my history, like probably like and the Roman theme in here, probably like Persephone.
I'll give you 3 more tries.
Is it gonna be Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva?
Hey, there you go.
Okay. Praying to them then.
Good job.
Go team.
Go team. So as you make your prayers, your blood mingling in your blood mingling with hers over the altar, your vitae. And she reaches out her hands and actually holds your hands as you put down the knife over the altar. Joining you as you pray, but she seems to mutter a different incantation completely. As you begin to feel your wrists and neck begin to tighten. You begin to feel the blood in your body almost rush to those areas. As red strands, like strings, begin to emerge from your neck and wrist.
Oh. That's spicy.
And it begins to tighten so much that it begins to physically hurt.
Ow.
It begins to cut into your skin. If you weren't a kindred, you'd bleed.
I'm just gonna keep praying.
As you do so, does Cora have her eyes closed when she prays?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. And as they begin
Like,
to
I'm sure they
tighten...
would have.
Oh, sorry.
They probably would have opened briefly when they tightened, but like, when she went back to it, she probably would have closed her eyes again.
And as the strings or the chains tighten around your neck and wrists, as it begins to almost reach a breaking point, as it feels to the point where you might lose your hands, your head. You feel something snap.
I don't. Oh wow. Yeah.
It's almost as if a haze clears from your mind.
Or
Your
maybe
Sar's influence seems to vanish. You no longer feel the need to think about her. For a moment, You feel as if you could forget her. In fact, you do forget her for a moment. You just don't think about her at all.
Oh, such a relief.
When you open your eyes, there is the lady in red still there, still gazing above you. Just a, just a step higher on the altar.
Thank you for that. Feels like being free for the first time in a while.
No child of ours will be bound to such taskmasters. No daughter of mine shall be reduced to such indignity.
Thank you again. Cora is like wants to ask what now, but is like not going to ask what now. That seems rather rude.
She'll walk around the altar, her hands still bloody, smelling of fresh vide. It's intoxicating. She'll tip your chin up slightly. Ask a question, Cora.
What happens now? Where do we go from here? Rather.
Pretty good.
She will
Yes.
push back one side of your hair, presses your cheek lightly, and asks, "What do you want?"
What I was saying earlier, that I wanted just to be more involved in life around me.
How so?
Well, I've been mostly running errands, but I'd rather like learn things, or be able to get involved in life around me. There's a lot I'm interested in that I haven't been able to exactly pursue.
Then you may learn.
Pardon?
She says, then you may learn.
I appreciate that.
She looks down,
Yeah.
as if gauging you.
I mean, it was. Oh, sorry.
It has only been such a short time, and yet I have grown very tired.
Then we should let you rest.
No. I am tired. Because my children are so far away.
Is there anything we can do to help with that?
Many follow me, but few understand. This has been ever such a long time since one came to see me, since there has been one under my wing.
Perhaps I can help with that.
Can you? Would you?
I would certainly try.
How much?
As much as it took to fulfill the task before me. I'm stubborn like that.
Then first, please me. And she will bite into your neck and take 2 blood points.
Okay.
As you are briefly swallowed up by the curse, you gain a swooning condition for Juno.
Okay. That checks out.
She leaves you enthralled for a good few minutes, taking her time.
Wow.
Before releasing you from her surprisingly tender grip. Will you become of our family as Ash has?
I think so. So far, I've liked everyone I've met from the family.
There can be no I thinks, Cora.
Then I will.
She'll give you a soft smile. A smile so warm it could melt a blizzard.
This
When I ask of you, find me.
I will.
You will know the signs. They will emerge from your blood, from your chest.
Then I'll keep my eyes peeled for it.
She stifles a chuckle into a murmur. So young.
Cora's just excited to find a new family. Nothing bad will happen.
As you see that she's still got her hand on your cheek, you notice the vitae. You find yourself surprisingly tempted to take a bite. You come to realize you're actually getting a little bit hungry now.
Just a bit. Mm. Can I just slurp?
Of course.
Slurp.
meanwhile,
How do you go about doing so?
I'd probably ask first. Like, hey, I'm getting pretty hungry and you smell really good.
She simply waits.
yeah.
It's not a no, but it's also not a yes. Ah.
We'll say you slip.
Yeah. Probably just start by licking.
She'll bring her arm around to your mouth. Expose the wrist.
Oh, so then she'd probably drink. Not a lot. Just a little bit.
How many blood points?
Probably just like 1. She took 2 from me, so. It's my first time. Also dinner, so I need to go soon.
It's fine.
This first story really hard.
Partaken of her vitae,
I know.
you find your feelings for her heightened,
This one mission
intensified.
hard. I rarely see it the first time.
Oh, so this is what real blood bond's like. Okay.
Before you were, well, in the swooning condition, you were smitten with her. Now you're just falling,
Okay.
Nice.
just sort of head over heels for her.
I think she was already head over heels for her. I mean, come on.
Oh,
Just simply smile at you.
Cora will smile back.
yeah.
Follow. She'll
Yeah. And that one's.
she'll lead you around the altar before placing you on it.
Not gonna resist. See that?
She seems to place some flowers on you.
Yeah. I mean, you can fix it.
Before spilling her blood onto you. And then biting again. But this time, it's more as if the sensation spreads to every part of your body and causes a physical change. It's as if your features become sharper. As if your body becomes encased within this reverie. Spend a will point of willpower. You will gain 1 second.
Okay.
You will gain 5 points of presence, which can take you over your maximum.
Oh, wow.
For the rest of the month.
Nice.
And these will carry over into blue books you make.
Yeah. No.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was fun.
You're not sure what she did.
No idea. Maybe an oath or something?
Yeah, it felt strange. Did
No,
feel like
it's
an
the
oath,
one where
felt
you
like
have
magic.
protection while you sell
Even spicier.
merchandise.
Once the ritual concludes, once you sort of lurch off the altar, which appears to be part of a ritual, she'll walk back around the altar to you.
Although, I mean, the fourth same.
Seize
Yeah.
another vitae from you.
I'm okay with it. Whatever she wants.
And we'll sort of point towards the door. Doesn't really point, sort of raises her hand towards the door.
I'll take that as my cue to leave.
Take my gifts and make the change you seek.
Thank you. It was fantastic to meet you. And join the family.
You will soon meet me again.
Excellent.
Oof.
I mean, she'll probably just, like, kneel again. You know. I look forward to it.
Can't remember the one tone
She'll simply gesture
Warning.
to the door.
also.
Right? I will go and see if
Tone
Ash
lock.
comes
I can't
with.
remember if it's one or
Ash will meet you at the
or
door.
consider open.
You yet walk, so you have not offended her.
Oh, good.
How did it go?
Okay, but there's Adam here.
I think it went really well. I mean, for measures of really well.
I will literally. I'm not joking.
So you are
I know I sound like I'm joking, but I'm not.
with us now.
Yes. I agreed to join the family.
Yeah. The only good thing is
Then I suppose I'll have to arrange for you to meet them then.
That would be fantastic.
What? Am I wrong?
But before that,
Okay.
let's celebrate, shall we?
Sounds like fun. I could use a celebration. Feel freer than I have in ages.
And let's head out.
Mm,
Awesome. On that note, I really
May
have to
I-
run at this point.
That's
May I
fine. We'll end the
recommend-
scene there. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you, watchers.
Awesome.
See you